particular book is a compilation of writers from the state of Maine, A Sense of Place, and it is ordered by the towns in Maine. And it is edited by 3 frustrated lawyers who really want to be poets, which I absolutely love that whole thing. This one is we heard from the Her Mill, and we'll hear another one from that, but this is the His Mill. This is Scott Paper Company in Winslow, which no longer is in existence, but this poem is for Winslow. The mill worker arises. Scott Paper Company, Winslow, Maine. The mill whistle beckons the worker, tantalizing, taunting the sleep of wives, children, men, calling them to mass production. The telephone jangles midwinter midnight. Freezing, the man dresses, the wife absents her bed, packs his food in enameled covered dishes in a basket. Other baskets like this have gone on picnics. The mill, after cooking the men, provides a stove for reheating her prepared midnight libation in enameled dishes. The crusader of industry places his hand on the 3-foot pipe wrench, laying a shoulder into the cloud of oven-hot steam and sulfite, prepares to do battle with paper machine number 2. Tiny dwarfed, he stands, works, walks, the steam-powered monstrous machine who eats men better than the biblical fish, electrifies the silhouette with 420 volts, spews gases into their lungs, belches firewater like hell over gears and gauges, deifying itself, claiming the souls of the damned, wrenching, contorting their earthly bodies, bathing them in a baptismal sweat, releasing the men to the morning air, ghost walkers dedicated to so many pounds of steam under pressure. And those things happened. The machine did eat a man, and he lived. My father was electrocuted with 420 volts and lived. And the gases were a common event, that they were gassed. And it was just an exciting place to work. The release. The release is an echoed valley, the sound come upon itself while traveling back to the bell that rang 70 times 7, the math of forgiveness. Love, as a plow releases the earth of its accumulates, days upon days upon days of toil, a tiny seed laid to rest in the newly released ground learns its lesson of growth. This is another part of the process of making a shirt, and my mother-in-law worked at the Hathaway Shirt Factory for 32 years, and this is part of the Her Mill equivalent. Sweatshop Girls, Hathaway Shirt Factory, Waterville, Maine. Sweatshop girls bring batch tickets home in their purses. Averages of 120 dozen pockets, stays, sleeves, collars, cuffs, buttons, buttonholes a day make for piecework politics. Boss Timer wants borderline production by sweatshop girls, so he need not pay for above averages work. Sweatshop girls bring batch tickets home in their purses for tomorrow's averages. Sweatshop girls work hard, above averages, building up, collecting for tomorrow, timed, tomorrow, move to another job, building more averages. This poem is about the first war in the Gulf. The war in the Gulf. The brutalities as they occur are interesting, or part of the rational male norm as opposed to the irrational female norm. Luckily, women violently bleed once a month, feeding the need for revenge on the body's mortality. Men, in lack of menses, hunt or war to get their own bloodletting in attempt to do women. Futility at immortalities. Women bleed purposefully, men bleed uselessly. Men award each other medals for their bloodsheds. Women declared biblically unclean hide or wrap their bloodletting in tissue paper or flush their reasonable life-giving down the toilet. Women bleed to give life, monthly reminders of their capability. Men bleed to take life, battle cry reminders of their response to women's power. Blood stains on women's clothes, leakages of life-giving proof shame her into hiding. Taboo to have sex with a bleeding woman. Men who come that close to bloodletting with a purpose are afraid of its power, or unsure or in awe to partake of such calm violence, consented, accepted in silence, quietness, easy flowage between the legs. and she hesitates to show him her power, all used to shame or proof of giving, of her life-giving. He has had to go to war to see such marvelous vitality of knowing when one is alive truly by dying. She wraps her pad in a tissue, waits another violentless period out, compared. And the final poem from my book has to do with the quilt that Mary talked about, because inevitably the cloth always reveals the woman. And this is about a trip that I took to Louisiana to visit a friend, but also to do a comparison contrast on the French culture in the northeast to the south. The view from Flight 5410, northwest, Memphis to Lafayette. What is a quilt? A quilt is a woman's garden, fields of cloth echoing the earth, harrowing, plowing, seeding, weeding, reaping, repeating the gifts, first fruits, forest groves, crazy quilt, fluvial plains, snaking rivers, geological fossils, roadbed, farm labor, cane, raising cane, swirling, sweeping riverbed, bound to the river, to the oceans, to the sea. Raised threads, borders between field and forest, crazy quilt, bordered pattern, a cloud shadow belongs. Shadings, gradations, in search of our mother's gardens, grown in cloth, quilting, earthbound, echoing, repeating the meter, measure of the land, pull the clouds from the sky, cotton batting fluff stuff. Quilt, earth, and sky unite. There's powers in those quilts, she warned me. I simply nodded yes. Thank you very much.